Bing, we're live. It's the website one KickOff meeting. We've got Michael and Bill and Sam, and yeah, so the usual things that we do on a Friday are potentially vote on tickets, although we do now have a good asynchronous voting system in place. Michael, did you have any tickets that you wanted to get voted on this week?
No.
So I'll just get set up over here. I think there probably is one or two that
Actually,
I've.
one ticket. I think we're already voting on it, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's get this.
The one about Firefox Quantum.
Yeah. I think we've got some asynchronous votes that are continuing, aren't we? So we could get
I think
those
there's the
cleared
easy
up.
fix. Yeah.
Yeah, I've opened a start on that. Yeah, we can have a bit more chat about that one. Let's bring up the waffle board. Oh, and Ben's here as well. Ben, yay, Ben! Bill and Ben both here. Great stuff. Good to see you again, Ben.
Hello.
All right. Hey there.
All right.
Hey there. So yeah, so we've got the board is in place. We're just the main thing we do in the meetings on Friday is sort of see if there are things that we need to vote on. Just in terms of things going on, I've got some things which are possibly moving the meeting day. Is kind of one thing to get discussed. I guess outstanding. I've got this. Our Google authentication is failing. That's kind of like a big pain. And the thing I really want to move forward on is private events. But yeah, Michael, do you have anything that's like a blocker for you, or anything that you want to see happening on website one?
Just the API stuff that we're working on, but I'll probably do that this weekend, maybe.
Right. And you and I are
going to do it last weekend, but yeah.
Yeah, we're pairing on Tuesday. Is that right? So
yeah, I hope to get it done before that.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I need to do more grooming and updating of the database in that regard. I'm I'll get too soon. Bill and Ben, did you have? I think the first time for this meeting for both of you, was there anything particular questions you had or things that you want to get resolved, or you're just happy following along?
Me personally, I was just going to follow along, listen in over the weekend. I'm actually in the middle of downloading the repo as we speak.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So I'll look at it over the weekend.
Mm.
I'm sure I could. If there are any questions, I'm sure I could ask them in one of the scrums or something like that.
Oh, totally, absolutely, or anytime in the Slack as well. Yeah,
I'm more or less in the same situation.
Yeah. All right. Good show. Well, I guess we'll just mention that. Yes, I've got two other premium members, Gail and Aaron. Gail was in the scrum earlier on today. He's just got set up with the system as well, and I gave him a bit of extra explanation about a beginner-friendly ticket for him to work on. Aaron has also. They both started looking at a couple of beginner-friendly tickets, and I'm really pleased to get more people. There was also a new UX person who came through who was asking about the project page redesign. So yeah, it would be lovely to get. There's so many little things that need fixing and sorting out that you know, more people involved. Yay! The other issue that we had this week. Oh gosh, I'll put that in there. What's it with this Elixir Phoenix? Yeah, so the RunFunk project, or RFM, they've consistently had problems trying to start their what are they called? Gosh, yeah, this like it turns out I think we've identified the problem. When they try and start their weekly meeting, they get like a 500 error. So that's another big thing here, is that we've got our error tracking is not working as well as it should. So we need to either fix air brake, or we need to like add an alternative, like something like Sentry, which is apparently what Fronfonk use. But so yeah, so this was the thing. I guess I started the vote on this. I'm going to open that. Oh, it's opening. Okay. So we could potentially try and complete the votes. I think it's up on the develop server. Yeah, so Robert was getting this 500 error trying to start a Hangout on a particular, or just to update a Hangout there. He did it while I was watching the logs, and so I actually got the particular 500 error, and we saw, you know, I think we're sort of at the bottom of that. I guess we could spend more time looking at that now. Maybe sensibly we do vote on it. Let's just look at what's the top level set of things that we need to. So I guess there's, I mean, that's my intent to work on. There's already a voted ticket on it. Corey was working on it, but he's dropped off, and I'm going to take it over. I'd love to get error tracking sorted. Again, these two I think are kind of background bleeds that we have that would be that they need, you know, a good session sitting down, you know, getting them sorted. I don't know that there's much to be gained from looking at them together in the meeting, unless anybody would like more details on either of these two problems.
Are they the sort of thing that a beginner could actually tackle, or is it particularly advanced Rails?
It's not particularly advanced Rails in some ways. They're both more configuration tasks than they are programming tasks, I would say. So they're probably, you know, if you're just starting to get familiar with the system, they're probably not the ideal thing to start on.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, and sort of this one to sort of check certain things requires they both probably also require admin input. But they would be a interesting thing to pair on with an admin, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you were interested in pairing on either of these, Bill, then we could certainly do that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, either one. I'm more than happy to do that.
Good show. Yeah, nice one. Yep.
That stuff.
Go on.
That stuff's written in Ruby or is JavaScript? That particular part.
This one is it's Ruby within the Rails thing, and yeah, it's Ruby's and Rails, and I say they're both sort of configuration things. Both of these have worked in the past and have stopped working, so it's going to be like upgrading gems, like trying to make sure that the configuration files are just, you know, whatever, and like tracking down why it doesn't work.
All right, I'll make a note of that and I'll have a look.
Yeah.
This particular area is quite easy to find within the code base.
Potentially. I mean, I guess. So this is the waffle board, which in principle everybody can get access to. But the waffle board, as you probably know, it's just wrapping the issues on the underlying repo. So there should be, like, for all those things I'm mentioning there should be specific tickets in the issues.
I've seen that. A ticket on Git, yeah.
Yeah, so basically here's the one for the Google sign up not working. And basically my heuristic is that as soon as I'm aware of a problem, I just try and put some kind of ticket in there to have a reference on it. And then, so like originally it was like reported by one person, and then I kind of confirmed with that person that this was the error that they were getting. And I've added some other notes. You know, often I will not necessarily go and look here and there in the code, but that's what I did just do with Gail in the mob before. He was the beginner friendly. We do have a beginner friendly label.
I hadn't noticed that. Okay.
Which is in green there. And so yeah, this one here, I went through with in the earlier Scrum with Gail and added screenshots of the thing and then pointers to the specific bits of code that would need to change. And I'm very happy to do that in any, like if any of the tickets or anything is ever unclear, just jump in a Scrum or even just ask me in Slack and I can say, oh yeah, this part of the code base, this part of the code base, and screenshot thing there. Yeah.
That Google authentication, is that a case of you click on the button that says sign on with Google and it gives you email account or something like that and it just throws that error?
That yes. And about 2 years ago, we had the same problem. We fixed it one time around. It's worked, I think, for at least a year. And then just recently, it seems not to be working. It does seem the Google authentication does seem to be working on other sites. I've tried refreshing the token, and that didn't seem to change anything. So there's something odd going on there. But it's sort of, if we are be very happy to pair with you on it. It would be a session where we would kind of like be opening up part of the Google console and looking at the flow through in the app to try and work out what's changed to sort of stop it working. Okay. Bit of a logical problem.
I'm happy to do that. You're thinking of sometime early next week, something like that? Yeah,
absolutely. I've got like a pairing thing. We've got this, actually, Ben's done it before. We've got this thing here, which is basically people can grab a pairing slot with me. And if you follow me on Twitter, but then I've got this pairing calendar that people can, if I get the right one, I'll give you the, you'll probably follow me on Twitter already, maybe not. But yeah, you can book a pairing session using this this framework here, and then.
So I'll have a look at that over the weekend. As I was saying, I'm in the middle of downloading the.
Yeah.
Hello.
And but hello, Vincent. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Good to see you. Is this your first time in an Agile Ventures meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, welcome. We're looking at the website one project, which is the software behind our main site here, and just talking about how Bill and Ben are both just looking at the code base and thinking about getting involved. So we're just talking about ways in which they could do that. Are you a Rails programmer looking to become a Rails programmer?
No, actually, I'm a business analyst.
Mm-hmm.
I need a agile software. How does it works? Is it correct platform for this?
So you're looking to get some software built for you?
No, for training purpose, I required.
You want to get training in how to do some agile development?
Yeah, in agile software.
Yeah, agile software. Well, yeah, this particular meeting is focused on people who are kind of learning about agile software through programming.
Okay.
So if you're not a programmer, it's not necessarily the best setup. You're hoping to get like agile project management training?
Yes.
Right. Well,
as a BA business analyst.
From the business. Well, actually, in principle, yes, you certainly welcome to get involved here. I mean, the project that we have is the main project of our charity, Agile Ventures, which is all about getting teams together. And so you'd be welcome to join the team as a business analyst, even if you're not doing any programming, just sort of thinking about the way in which the whole system engages with the rest of the world, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So I tell you what. Why don't you hang out and just sort of let over, and maybe we can talk some more at the end about getting you more involved.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So well, thanks so much for your suggestions and support there, Bill. Oh, sorry, Ben. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I have a question. You said there's a number of people now that are involved and don't want to get involved, and this kind of points to exactly an issue that I'm thinking about, which is, well, how do I find someone to work with on it? One of these other people. Like, two of us want to get together and pair through one of the beginner friendly things.
Mm-hmm.
Would it there should be a sort of a simpler way of doing that, of course.
Mhm.
You know, maybe someone should write some software, but failing that, right now, what we have in place, I guess the Slack channel on here, I could say, well, when would you like to pair? But then the coordination of it is kind of the trickiest, because I think there's a lot of people that would be eager to just get together and sort of knock one of these low-hanging fruit off the tree together and get some more pairing experience. But
Totally.
which is why I joined here. I thought there'd be people that'd be like, all right, well, let's
Well,
set a time soon.
Sure. Well, you have got Bill and Michael here, and
Okay.
even myself. So I mean, I guess in answer to the question, which I think is a great question, the mechanisms that we have at the moment for finding pair partners is clearly there is ask in the Slack channel. There is also the scrums that we have, like twice a day. Like, so this is the which I think you know about. There's the Kent Beck and the Martin Fowler scrum, and they are, as well as being scrums, they are pair hookups. So in principle, one of the motivations for showing up to the scrum, as well as, you know, touching base with whoever else is there, is to see if anybody's immediately free for a bit of pairing straight away, or to arrange a thing. So for example, we had Gail in the Martin Fowler scrum earlier today, and I went through this thing with him, and if you were there, we could have hooked you up to work on that ticket related to it's to do with the project's repo pages, but yes. So the difficulty in some ways is that you're there. It's a bit hit and miss in that, because we've got a fair number of these. You're not guaranteed to find someone who's interested in pairing on the project that you happen to be interested in any given scrum. There's also the weekly meetings like this one, where you know, you could maybe connect with Bill, particularly. I mean, if you wanted to do some prep work for that Google authentication one, which Bill sounds like he's interested in working on.
I was just waiting for you to finish, but I was going to say, if Ben wants to pair up, I'm more than happy to look at this one together, because I mean, I'm a beginner, so I'm learning JavaScript and Ruby and learning Rails.
I see.
There's going to be a lot of this is beyond me. So if Ben
I would say I'm probably intermediate. However, that issue looks like it would be really difficult to sort out without, you know, having more of an intimate knowledge. But it would be an interesting learning experience. Are you talking about the Google authentication thing?
Yeah.
All right. It might be interesting to look. It might be. I'd worry it would become frustrating, but
yeah, I think with that one, it's unlikely that you would be able to. Well, I say that. I think you'd need to be, in order to not get disappointed. The approach to take would be saying, like, we're researching this issue, rather than like, we're gonna fix this issue. Because even for myself personally, I'm not optimistic. I don't know. I mean, I could spend 2 or 3 hours on this and still just not have a solution.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the case that Google just changed something in their API, and you don't know. I mean, have you looked into that?
Well, I have or at least what I do notice is that the Odin project, which also has Google authentication, you can log in. It's still working for them.
I see.
So that suggests to me that it will, in principle, work if it's set up correctly. What I can do here is, I mean, this is the authentication controller that manages all of these things, which I can now add to the ticket here. I could put, like, here, maybe something needs to change in the. I have got it set up so that in principle it works on localhost as well. I mean, you certainly could, between the two of you, be investigating it and, you know, maybe testing some hypotheses locally, and then, you know, if Bill sets up a pairing session with me next week and is happy for you to join, Ben, then we could, given that you've both done a bit of prep work, we could maybe bring all three of our minds together one day next week, and then perhaps between us we can sort it out.
No, that sounds like a plan. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just research it and see how far I can get. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite. I think it's quite an interesting part of the code base that also could use some probably refactoring and improvement in like self documentation, if you know what I mean.
You mean sort of just making the code cleaner?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean also, I mean this. I was just talking about I was in the Agile Dev Mob with Bill and Brent previously. Is you know, I personally tend to prefer not to have comments, but what I love to have is method names that kind of actively describe what's going on. And so things like here, where we've got like a very long method, you know, rather than adding comments in here to say this does this, this is it, is like, for example, this chunk here, I'd love to move out as a separate method and then give it a method name that says what it's doing. So that then the you know, the high level, you could have like I guess I want to go to the example I was just showing Bill in the previous thing, but you know what I mean, that you have.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, Bill's
Yeah.
and Ben, I think you probably do.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, cool.
Classic refactoring trick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's also, you know, this code for authentication was created 3-4 years ago, and it may be that the boilerplate now for this, because I think this is related to Devise, which is a plugin for Rails, and the gems have upgraded and so on, and maybe there's a cleaner and simpler way to do it now. So anyway, but yeah, so we've got those. So that was, we were going through there. So yes, indeed. Case in point, weekly meeting just being used to find a pair partner. The things that don't exist or that we have tried in the past is like kind of booking calendars. I am now using one for myself. What we've found with shared booking calendars is it's been people change their minds too many times about when they're going to be pairing or whatever. But as you know, with Paironauts, we're definitely trying to find better ways to help people, you know, find those pair partners. I mean, what I'm going to be encouraging all the new people to do is to be trying to, whenever they have anything to say, is to say it in the shared channel. This is a very, very common pattern that I see over and over again, is that people tend to, they're kind of like, oh, I don't want to bother everybody in the big channel. So if I've got a question, I'll ask Sam individually in a DM or what have you. And that's fine. But I think actually we want the activity in the channel, because then you like bump into each other and like someone's asking about, oh, well, I'm stuck on this ticket. And then you get the opportunity to say, oh, I could help you with that. Anyway.
Channels that you're talking about, a shared one? I can't remember seeing that.
Sorry, say again, Bill?
So which channel is that you talking about? Is that, you say
website one. So there's the website one channel.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you mentioned a shared channel. I thought that might have been a separate, another channel.
No. Well, I don't know if I was saying this one was a shared, but yeah, by shared channel, I just mean a group channel where there's multiple people in it. And I think, you know, people are understandably, you know, they're somewhat cautious about saying things in group channels. They say different things if they're doing, you know, DMs or talking to you individually. My objective generally is to try and get everybody to ask things in the shared channels so that the, you know, community both seems active and people can receive help from each other as well as from me. Yeah. So we've got this other person, Alicia, just jumped in and said that she was interested in getting involved in the project's redesign for that page. But yeah, so I mean, the workflow, which we're also documenting in some other projects, and maybe we need to get better at documenting here, is that ideally one checks in this meeting or any Scrum to see if a ticket is ready to be worked on, and in particular tries to get it voted on if it hasn't been voted or hasn't been voted recently. So maybe just as an example of that, I think, yeah, so we've talked about all those sort of things. We'll maybe talk about this at the very end. Don't think there's anything to talk about there. So this issue, and Michael's just voted on it. It's, yeah, to go back to this other issue, if I got the ticket up here. So this is this error that the user was experiencing, and it seems to come down to, and I guess if I go to the code base, and Michael and I were looking at this. Oh gosh, can I quickly find it? Oh, let's close all the files. So this is in, we've got this rather complex controller, which, gosh, my computer, I need a new computer, it's going to go faster. Go on, I just want to close all the tabs. Oh, go on. Oh, really? Okay, never mind. But so we in the past, we had the Google Hangouts API working, and we from Hangouts like these, they would kind of be pinging back to the site regularly, and that seemed to lead to some rather convoluted code, which you can see here. Now, what we had, this particular error that we were getting was basically, we were trying to include here on request end HTTP origin, and it was turning out to be null. Now, annoyingly, our error tracking system was not telling us about that, and so we ended up having to look in the logs. That's a separate issue. It seems, and Michael, I think you identified that there's a bug with the latest Firefox Quantum browser. Michael, you're muted if you're trying to talk to us. Michael, you still there? Maybe Michael will have to step away. So I think it doesn't add this, HTTP origin, which other browsers do seem to do. So that's been working for some of us, but not for this one person who's using this new browser. So what I did, which, and it should be connected to it here. Actually, I guess it's being closed because I have merged in. I did a very quick pull request previously, which just I made this very, very quick change here, which is just to say, okay, if there's some failure, I mean, the only real failure that we'll get here is if this is null. Let's just rescue that and say, okay, fair enough, it's a local request. Michael was analyzing this, and it doesn't seem like, there's this the place where this is actually used in the code this is part of this CORS pre-flight check. I don't know, Bill and Ben, have you heard of CORS?
Heard of it, but
something around.
remember.
Yeah, it's this sort of cross-origin resource scripting thing that's basically what
So
we're doing.
Stop block it, is it?
Yeah, I mean, you can get in the situation. What you generally want to avoid is that if you've downloaded a load of JavaScript from a particular site, you don't want to let it go out and talk to other sites randomly and do distributed denial of service things. Yeah. And so, but we've got. I think originally this was being, these headers were being set. Hey there, Vincent. To allow the Google API to repeatedly ping back to the system. Now that that's not present, I'm not even sure that we're actually using any of this, or even that we need it. But you can see here that, I mean, the key thing is this is the method that gets called when this update method, when somebody wants to add a Hangout or link to an event instance. It comes in through here, and then you can see here, like the Slack service stuff, the pings that you get to the Slack channel where it says click to join and click to play and so on. That all comes from here. Okay. That once the event instance has been successfully updated and the URL to the Hangout that you're in has been added there, then these are the things that then go off and send them to Slack for us. And then there is functionality to send them to Twitter as well, and this, that, and the other. But so we can say we've got the before filter. I mean, it's not running on certain things, but it is running on this update path. I don't know, Bill and Ben, do either of you happen to have Firefox Quantum installed?
I'm afraid I don't.
No.
No, not to worry.
The latest version or something?
I think so. It's maybe just like version 57.
Wait, I have a recent version of Firefox. I think I just updated it.
Yeah.
Would that be Quantum?
It might well be. If you've got version, do you want to check what version of Firefox you've got installed?
Let me see.
I mean, I run on Ubuntu, so I'm not sure what version that is as compared to like Mac, because they often have different versions on different OSs, don't they?
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I tend to be running a rather old version of Firefox because it still works with kind of like the Selenium.
Oh, I can lie. I've got Firefox Quantum 7.01.
Yeah, I also do. Yep.
Yeah. So well, that's
5701 is what I
yeah.
have.
Well, you could both help me out here. Actually, Michael seems to have disappeared, but yeah,
well, that's what we're here for.
I've got 47 there.
Yes.
Yeah, which I'm maybe I don't need. There's I'm sure there's a way to now run the. I've got some old legacy stuff that requires the old one in there. But so what I will just quickly do here is I can show you actually the pipeline of all the different app components. We've got like so develop server, staging server, production server. In order to save money recently, I turn off the develop and staging servers when they're not in use. But if I quickly go into our resources setup here and switch this on like so, then we can go to the develop server but so yeah, yourselves as well, Bill and Ben, if you were interested in going to the develop server in your Firefox browsers, it should warm itself up then, and we could actually check that this has actually solved the problem. And I've kind of done. Hello there, Vincent. You're right.
Yeah. No. Right now, is it the right time to talk to you?
Well, I guess it's not the end of the meeting yet when I was suggesting that we would talk. So you'd maybe want to hold on. I'm just working through a problem here with Bill and Ben. So,
but seems to have worked. But what are we looking for?
Well, I'll tell you in a second. I'll just say that Vincent. But if you have questions about what we're talking about, I'm happy to answer them. But probably not time for a open-ended discussion about how you could get involved right now. But yeah, so I guess Ben, you're saying you've got to this page now. The thing that where the error was caused is if we go to the events page, is what the oh gosh, I'm not even on the right page there. I mean, that's here's the develop page. But yeah, so one, you would need to log in, and I have a feeling that the GitHub and Google don't work here. And so in order to log in, I think you might have to use this email random@random.com, and then the password is random.
Okay, hold on a sec. I'm going to share the screen there.
Say again, Bill.
All right.
You said Google's just failed for me with a 400 error.
Yeah, I think now I don't know that Google has ever worked on the develop server, but I think this is also this is the same kind of error that we get. Yeah, I think.
So you're saying you sign in. What's the difference between log in and sign in?
Well, the login and sign in are the same. And I mean, that's another thing. Like, big picture is just there are perhaps inconsistencies. Well, I think we do call it login consistently, but we've got login and sign up. Some people
sign up. I'm sorry.
Sign in and sign up and so on.
Should I try to log in then with those?
Yeah, but so in principle, both of you could log in with this random@random.com and then the word random there. That's an ongoing GitHub login also doesn't work on the develop server, and I don't understand why. So I mean, we can if we can get to the bottom of all those things, it'll be a great.
So what's that random?
I put it in the chat there. In the group chat, so it's random@random.com and then the word random. Just
random guy. So it looks like I'm logged in as random guy.
Yeah. So I think we're probably all logged in there. So now the thing to do now here is if we click through to an individual event like so, then we've got these event actions of edit Hangout link and edit YouTube link. So if you're leading the way there, Ben, what you could do is you could maybe take the URL for the Hangout that you've got in the Hangout bar and copy that. And then if you've done that.
Sorry, let's see. I don't think we have one. Is an event that in fact has a URL for a Hangout, or should I create?
No. It looks to me that you're on exactly the right kind of event. Yeah, you're on the right event. What I'm saying is the Hangout that we are in, that window.
Yes.
There would be a URL in the thing. It used to be the case that on an event we could click a button that said Start Hangout, and it would all take care of itself.
I remember that.
Yeah. and we've lost that functionality, which is a big shame. But we hope to get it back one day with Jitsi. But anyway, but yeah. So at the moment, if anybody wants to start, an event and share a link to the event's teleconference system, whether it's Hangout or Jitsi or what have you, they have to get the URL from somewhere. So can you get to the address bar for the actual Hangout that we're all in now?
Me?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. How would I go about doing that? I'm not.
Well, maybe if you look at my screen, I'll show you what.
Okay.
I mean, so for example, can you see this is the Hangout window that I'm in here?
Whoa. What? Okay. Hold.
It's kind of doing an infinite regress because I'm sharing the Hangout window that we're in. But
I see. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Do you see the Hangout window? Yeah. So you can see here at the top of the Hangout window there is an address bar.
Yeah.
And see what I do when this is what I mean. For me,
so I should paste. I should create. So I'm just. I just think I needed to back up a couple steps.
That's all right.
Should I create an event on this Firefox?
No.
Is that
what? No. The event is there. You're on the event page.
So I should edit the event details.
Yeah, but before you do that, you don't want to edit. You don't want to edit the event details. And the troubles that you're encountering here are symptomatic of the UX challenges that we have with our site. That we would like. I mean, what I would love it to be the case is that you would arrive at the page and it would just be completely obvious what to do. But we're in one of these setups where unless it's explained very precisely, it's not obvious what to do. And I agonize about that daily. But if you again just watch my screen briefly, so you can see what I'm doing here is I'm grabbing the URL for the Hangout, and don't do it. Just watch my screen for a bit. And so I'm just doing like command copy to grab that. Yeah. And then here I am. I'm not going to go all the way through, but the problem that the person was encountering, this person from the other projects, is that they were on their event, and then they were going here to edit Hangout link. Which is the way to manually start an event. And then they were pasting that URL in there, and when they saved it, they were getting a 500 error. So just to save you time,
see if that happens.
Well, yeah, and I'll paste that link to the Hangout in case if it's difficult for you to get the Hangout URL.
No, I got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then
edit Hangout link. Paste it in.
Oh yeah. So yeah,
you'll see what happens.
So this is the Firefox browser, is it?
I'm on the Firefox Quantum here. Yeah. 500 internal server error.
Okay. So that makes it seem like that is not a complete fix for the problem. Bill, you were trying to say something? What's up?
I've just got the same error.
Yeah, okay. So what I can do there on website 1 is I can quickly go to Heroku. I want Heroku logs, -t, Hello, Michael. Have you been away somewhere?
Yeah, I was away unlocking a device. I hate these
phones. Yeah, so while you've been away, we've seen that Ben and Bill have both got the Firefox Quantum browser. Oh gosh, it's so annoying, is it?
And your fix doesn't work for them, or what?
Well, they have experienced a 500 error, which and I'm just looking at the logs, and I wonder if that's because
different.
Well, there's a second error behind the first one. But yeah, so it suggests that the issue needs to be reopened because we haven't fixed it. But I was referring before while you were away, Michael, that you found something about you think that the Firefox Quantum itself has a bug in that it should be giving the HTTP origin, but it doesn't.
Well, what people were saying is that if it's not a GET or a head request, then according to HTTP specs, it should be providing an origin request according to the specs.
Right, and so it seems that it's not, but yeah, you can the specs are suggesting that it should do. Okay, now interestingly, on the develop server there, I'm not even really seeing any strong amount of logs. I wonder if Bill and Ben, you might just refresh your pages and try and encounter those. I mean, do a resubmit, try and encounter the 500 error again.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Looks like, yeah, here we go. Now that's interesting.
I just visited it.
Yeah. So I think what we see
yeah, just done it again.
yeah, we're getting actually a different error, which is a Slack error, which makes me think that actually it probably is superficially fixing the error, because I think this is now like basically the develop server is not connected up to any kind of Slack instance. So what is happening there is, I think it's the fact that it's encountering this Slack error. We go back to the code, is it's at like the filter is completing, it's coming in here, it's updating the event, and then it's attempting to post to the Slack instance.
And that's where it's failing.
And that's where it's now failing. And that's, I mean, I think what I'm tempted to do is I'll probably roll the fix out to production, on the staging server, I have it I have the whole thing slaved to a test Slack instance where we could move forward. But thanks for helping me check that issue, Bill and Ben. Yeah, but so you can sort of start, you get a little flavor for what's going on. But now we understand I was sort of leading up to, we've got this sort of vote on how difficult it'll be to fix this issue. Michael's already voted on it. We have this sort of async voter thing for doing planning poker style voting, where we all, you know, try and expose our different underlying assumptions about how difficult.
I'm getting the same errors we were getting before. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm just on Chrome, but that's with Google. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of a different ticket.
Yep. So it's a little yeah, it's a little abstract. I mean, maybe just for the fun of it, we can go through the voting. I don't know, Bill and Ben, if you've done the voting in the other projects, but so based upon what you've understood so far, and feel free to ask more questions. We might vote for this ticket as being a relatively simple fix. That it's going to be a medium one. Simple, I usually is like, that's a change to the view. Medium is like, oh, there's going to be changes to the database and so on. And hard is like, I'm not sure what it's going to involve. It's just going to be difficult. But so if you're in the website one channel, you could go in and just sort of like quickly press one of those buttons.
So we think that it's actually solved, right?
I'm thinking that yeah, the
Slack service isn't hooked up, right?
Yeah, I suspect that it will pass on staging. What is perhaps more complex is, can we actually get, how do we write a good test for it? And can we actually remove all of this cause pre-flight check stuff to make our code a bit more simple? And of course, if you prefer not to vote, there's a no opinion button. Actually, Bill, I don't know if are you in this channel, maybe?
No, I haven't joined yet, no.
Oh, okay.
All right, I just voted.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. There we go. I'll invite you in. But yeah, so I think that's all of once we've done that. Were there other votes that were still going on? Well, there's the Google. Well, maybe we'll do that one as well. And complete that. After that, I think the last thing to cover in the meeting is about whether we maybe change the meeting time next week, and then I'm gonna have a quick chat with Vincent. Yeah, right. I think we've all managed to vote. So, and the idea is that, you know, we can do these votes in this meeting, or people can start a vote, you know, on at any time just by using voter, saying the name of the ticket and then the URL to the ticket. And that's just a good way, you know, if there's something that you want to work on that isn't being voted on, you can get it voted on. So we've had Bill, myself, and Ben have all gone for medium. Michael's gone for simple. We usually pick on the person who's in the minority, although that seems a bit mean. But yeah, Michael, why were you thinking simple rather than medium? And you're muted at the moment, Michael, if you're trying to speak to us.
Hello.
Hello, Vincent. Yeah, I don't think you're muted. You're not muted. I was asking Michael, but Michael, I guess, is maybe straight away from the keyboard again.
It would appear so.
It would appear so. In which case, I think I'm going to mark it as a medium and move on. We've got another vote, actually, that's going on in the channel here on the other thing that we've been talking about, which is the Google login and sign up not working. And so we could maybe complete that vote. Bill and Ben, did you have any more questions about this one that you're thinking of researching this weekend?
Well, Me at the moment, no. So I was just going to look at it over the weekend, and if Ben wants to, I'm thinking of if Ben wants to partner early next week.
Early next week. Okay.
I'm more than happy. I mean,
no.
I mean, I don't know when you're free, but I could ping you over the weekend and see when you're free on Slack.
Yeah, are you on the Slack channel there?
Yes.
All right.
Just Bill Ferro.
Yeah, he's just joined the website one channel there.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's sort of somewhat academic, but we could go ahead and, if you're both in the channel, obviously the research is yet to be done, but we could, based on our current understanding, just click one of these buttons.
Okay, I don't see it. Oh, no, I see it.
You need to scroll up, because it was one that I started asynchronously on Monday when I first encountered the problem. Yeah, so Ben's voted. It's funny, Michael is usually like very like here for meetings and doesn't usually. The second time he sort of wandered off. I guess he's got a lot going on in the background. So yeah, Bill, if you want to scroll up.
Yeah, I just have.
Well done, excellent. And then, so anybody can click reveal, although we usually say that don't click it until.
What does that reveal do? Oh, right.
The reveal, it basically shows the votes.
And it's a secret ballot until then.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea is that we're not influenced, until, by each other's opinions until the last moment. And so we've got there myself.
Now I'm in the minority.
Now Ben's in the minority, and you're saying hard,
yeah,
Ben, as opposed to medium. And so, right. Yeah, what's your thinking behind that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's just my lack of experience, but I'm very intimidated by this problem because it has to do with a Google API, and working almost sort of intermittently. Like it was working before and no one did anything, and it stopped working, or it certainly isn't directly traceable to anything anyone did. So I feel like that kind of thing is can often be a wild goose chase.
Yeah, agreed. What I would say is that there have been changes going through, such as gems are being upgraded, this, that, and the other. And one of the problems with this kind of thing with a third party is it's very difficult to have a foolproof acceptance test for it. So the thing that makes me think that it maybe shades on the medium as opposed to the hard side is that we do have the knowledge that it's still working for Odin project. And so I also know that that with this thing, I do have it set up so that certainly in the past, you could be running in your local development environment and log in through Google locally. So there's there is a way to test that it works at least manually, independently of having to roll stuff out onto servers and this, that, and the other. So those are the things that give me cause for hope that, maybe like we might have to downgrade a gem. I mean, one of the things we can do is do a git bisect and then like roll back to a time when it was working and test it locally manually. And then if we see it works, then we can do git bisect and identify which was the gem upgrade or change that caused the problem.
Okay.
So given, go on.
I'm going to say that makes sense to me, yeah.
So if I've convinced you, Ben, perhaps we would be willing to concede a medium in that case.
Indeed, yeah.
Wonderful. And of course, the actual values that we sort out are less important than the discussion that we have around them. We do have, there is sort of tracking within Waffle to see how many features and things that we've completed, but yeah, it's really the kind of discussion and sharing of ideas that's important there. So now I can pop a size in there of 2. I can add myself in there. I think probably what I will need to do in order to get Ben and Bill in there, I'll need to invite you both into the project, and then I'll add you to that. I'll send you some invites for that, and I'll pop that into the ready column there to be worked.
You mean into the website one project?
Yeah. So I think what I will need to do. So this is one of the things with the Waffle that is some of the reasons why some people don't like it so much is you can't assign people to tickets unless they have at least some kind of affiliation through the GitHub Teams thing.
Oh, okay.
Which is a little bit of a flaw if you ask me, but we can certainly pull the two of you in there. So I think that pretty much covers everything. Other than I might just ask the two of you. I'll do this in the background.
Sorry,
Go on, Bill.
GitHub Teams, does this mean I need to change my GitHub account in any way?
No, you don't need to do anything at all, apart from when you receive this, there should be an email notification. That will be me inviting you into this, to be members in this Website One collaborators team.
All right, okay.
And then what that will mean is it will give you, so I think, are you just Bill Farrow is your?
Yeah, no, if it's GitHub, then the boy Mo.
Oh, the boy Mo.
There
you go.
Mo.
Yep.
Did it find me?
I have, yep. And then we've invited you, and then so now that's pending. You should receive an email, or even if you just navigate to the GitHub Agile Ventures team. And then Ben, are you Ben Blanchard?
I'm actually BCB37.
Ah,
catchy, right?
Indeed, BCB37.
Yeah,
found you. Yes, and so you're invited as well. Then I think once you've accepted, I'll be able to add you to the waffle ticket, and joy will be unconfined. Great stuff. Thanks so much for taking a look at this with me, Bill and Ben. As I say, we've got these other two premium members who are interested in getting involved. Friday is not a good day for them, so we're proposing maybe moving the meeting day to Wednesday at about the same time. Would that be make it suddenly very difficult for either of you to attend?
For me personally, at the moment, no. For me personally, any day of the week would be fine.
So what day are we talking about?
Wednesday, and basically it's talking about Michael swapping the async voter and the Website One meetings.
Okay, why are we doing that though? Just
because the two new people who are joining the project, Gail and Aaron, can't make Fridays.
Oh, okay.
That seems to be okay for me.
All right, cool. Well, if that's all right, that's what we'll do next week, and then potentially we can have even more people in the meeting next week, and even more chance for finding pair partners.
Right on.
All right, good stuff. Well, so I think that's our whole meeting then, unless there's anybody else. Obviously, Vincent, stay around. We'll have a chat about getting you involved on the business side. Ben, Bill, Michael, anything else that we need to sort out?
Me, no. I wanted to get involved, and I am now, so I'm happy.
Yay!
I'm in the same situation, I would say.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Orewa tabemasu.
And Michael's practicing his Japanese on us. Dozo. I say.
Nihongo jouzu desu ne.
Nihongo jouzu da ne. Does he like? You're supposed to say itadakimasu, Michael. That's the thing there. I can say gochizu tamadeshita. I don't think they. Bon appetit, I think, is probably itadakimasu, but that's what the person who is eating says. Sorry, go on, Ben.
I know, that's fine. Go ahead.
No. I'm just babbling now.
So not even in English.
Good show. Well, great. Thanks so much for joining the meeting, Bill and Ben and Michael and Vincent. Thanks for stopping by. Michael and Bill and Ben, if you need to pop off, do so. But Vincent, you're looking to get involved in to learn more about agile project management. In a project like this. Tell me more about what you're hoping to learn, Vincent.
Yeah. First of all, I'll introduce myself.
Mm.
I'm from India, Bangalore.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I have joined for BA Business Analyst course.
Oh yeah.
Right now, I need what is about. Could you teach me how it works and how the business analyst works and how the project works?
Well, I mean, the project is agile in as much as that we try to follow the Agile Manifesto, which you may or may not be familiar with. I can show you a manifesto here.
Sorry?
I'm showing. I'll share the link with you in a moment. So there is a manifesto for agile software development.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's basically it's a bit. If we look at it there, that might be seen as a bit vague, but there are these 12 principles, right?
Yeah.
The first one is it's the highest priority to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software.
Okay.
And this is in contrast to the waterfall model and other things where, you know, you would do a big documentation and specification process, and then the customer would maybe not even see the software until a couple of years later, and then and only then find out that it doesn't do what they want.
Yeah.
So what I will mention is we do have a free course that does go through a lot of this. It's a programming course, but you don't have to do the programming. Even if you just watch the videos from the first couple of weeks of lectures, it will cover all of how agile software development works. So let me get you a link to that course. So that's this agile development using Ruby on Rails course that's available for free on edX. I don't know if you've seen this course before. Have you seen this course before?
Not at this is the first time because this week only have joined in this field.
Sure. No, that's great. No problem. Well, what I would say is, rather than me spending a long time telling to you in person about this course right now, like what I would encourage you to do is to sign up for this course, and then you can watch. I mean, the thing to do would be to watch. These are all videos you see here. That's going to talk to you about
beautiful code versus
all these different things. But you can then see here, look, development processes agile. Yeah, and so there's like a 10-minute video there on, you know, the agile software development process, which is what we follow in this project. Yeah. So probably the thing to do is go away and watch these videos, and then if they make sense, then you could come and get involved helping us in the project on the documentation business analyst side.
Yeah. How the business actually it is a useful business about, because in this I'll get the job or what nice jobs are in.
I'm not sure I understand your question. You seem to be saying that is it a useful
whether
business?
I will get the job in business analyst. It's a best course or what?
You're asking me is if this is a good course to take if you want to get a job as a business analyst.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think potentially it will help. I have to say, I mean, I'm not a specialist in business analysis. I know all about software development. I hire software programmers, developers. I've never hired a business analyst, so I can't say. I think if you're interested, you could learn a lot about agile software development through taking this course and hanging out in our Agile Ventures community. But whether that will help you get a business analyst job, I'm not sure. We've helped lots of people get development jobs and programming jobs, but you know, and some people have gone on to get, you know, project management roles and so on. But I don't know about business analysts.
Do you have any SAP material management course also?
No.
No. Okay. Fine. When is your next class? It will be.
Well, this is an online, like the thing that I'm showing you here. This is an online class, and you can watch any of the videos anytime. The meeting that you've joined here in Agile Ventures, this is a project meeting, and we have the project meeting every week. And there's a Slack instance for text chat where all the programmers are chatting and doing the projects, and people are helping them project manage and so on. And that's ongoing. So the project meeting that you were in today was the website one planning meeting, which is the software that runs the Agile Ventures site. Yeah. So this is an ongoing project that's been running for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's keeping on going. And people join and they contribute, and they, on a volunteer basis, help build this site, because we're a UK charity. Agile Ventures is a UK charity that tries to help people around the world learn about agile software development, and also builds websites for other charities.
Fine. Oh, fine.
So yeah, what I would say is please do have a look at the edX course. and feel free to come back, and if you are interested, we can try and get you involved in projects on the non-programming side, and help you learn all about agile software development.
Yeah, because I'm a fresher for this, and how it will be runs, because I'm a fresher. I don't know about what is agiles and everything, how the software works and how the software development works. Whether you will be teaching all the things step by steps.
Well, I personally won't be teaching step by step anything. The edX course that you've got the link to, that's got step by step, lots of learning about agile development, software, and everything. So if you take the course and you follow through the course yourself online, you'll get taught those things. And then if you want to put into practice things that you've learned in the online course, you can join meetings like this and do real work and listen and watch other people doing real work. Does that make sense?
Oh, fine. Yeah, good.
Cool.
It's very good. Very good.
Well, lovely to meet you, Vincent. Sorry, I must get on now. But are you in our Slack chat?
No, today only I have joined. I'm not.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Whether I have to join the class? Sorry, whether I want to join in your Slack?
Well, what I'm saying is that if you want to stay in touch, right? The Slack chat is a good way of doing it. So if you use Slack, then you'll get notifications about when we have more meetings. You can ask questions. We can carry on chatting in a very lightweight way. This is like you understand? Yeah, this is like a instant messenger kind of chat environment for everybody involved in our charity and the different classes and so on. So if you, I'm not showing my screen. If you hold on, let me show here. Yeah, that's the this thing. Oh, not this thing. Yeah. So it's got lots of different channels where people are discussing different sorts of things. If you go to agileventures.org and you sign up here for an account on agileventures.org, then it will invite you to the Slack chat, and we'll be able to chat by text, when you have questions and thoughts and so on. So if you go to this sign up page, yeah. So I'll maybe see you in a future meeting or in in the Slack chat. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I better go. Bye for now. Lovely to meet you.
Hello. Sorry, your name. I forgot your name.
My name is Sam Joseph.
Sam Joseph. Yeah, very good. Very good to talk.
Yeah, nice to meet you. And you can see more about me. I'm also one of the professors for the. No, that's the wrong course.
Oh, okay. Bye.
All right. But anyway, bye for now. Take care.
Have a nice day.
You too.